We have a very important update tonight as XRP is barely holding on to 34 cents. I also want to get into this article, What Happens to XRP if Ripple Wins Case Against the SEC. This is by Finbold News. And then we also have to cover, and we'll get to this at the very end after I get to the XRP charts after we read that article. We need to talk about this Tether USDT under scrutiny, possible crisis for stablecoin, as Coinbase tells their users, and basically attacks Tether, tells their users to take their money out of Tether and put it into USD. So that's something we're going to look at. We're going to see the exact reasons why this is. And going into the Tether thing, this is something that I came across before, and this was from December 1st, 2022. Tether Limited falsely claimed that each token was backed by $1, but it changed the backing in March 2019 to include loans to affiliate companies. The Bitfinex exchange was sued by the New York Attorney General for allegedly using Tether funds to conceal $850 million in funds missing since mid-2018. So be very careful with Bitfinex. This is just something tying it, and this is back from over a month ago. So this is something that's out there. So, and I put the date out right there just so you could see it. So pay attention to that. And this is something where Tether falsely claimed that each token was backed by a 1-to-1 in the US dollar. And then they had to change their backing in March 2019 to say it's with affiliate companies, the loans. So consider that, and consider the exchange Bitfinex if you're on there, because they already lied to cover up $850 million in funds back in since mid-2018. So they use Tether, funds that aren't even there. So please hit that like button as I play this intro before we get into the heart of this update. I greatly appreciate each and every one of you, especially the 211 members of Tom's Army. If you'd like to do something great for the new year, show me that support. I really do a lot of work, and this update's going to be fire. Okay, so first things first, make sure to hit that like button, and if you're new or returning, hit that bell notification and turn it to all so you can be alerted to the next update. And also consider subscribing to the channel and joining the more than 15,300 other subscribers, as I greatly appreciate each and every one of you. So let's get started tonight with what happens to XRP if Ripple wins case against the SEC. Okay, so let's see. Investors in XRP are interested in knowing what the future holds for the cryptocurrency now ranked 6th by market capitalization. With the ongoing legal dispute between Ripple and the Securities and Exchange Commission, SEC, one of the most important aspects that might have a significant effect on its success, the SEC initiated legal action against Ripple Labs based on allegations that the company had offered unregistered securities in the form of XRP tokens. The lawsuit has continued for 3 years, with both parties submitting final filings and waiting for a decision. In this line, Finbold asked industry professionals about whether Ripple could win the lawsuit against the SEC and what it would mean for the price of XRP if it was successful. David Reicher, attorney and CEO of Legal Advice. David Reicher told Finbold the other nations' regulators have ruled that crypto cannot be regarded as a security if there is no issue. For this reason, he noted, Ripple will likely prevail against the SEC claim Ripple must register its token like a security. Ripple has long held that investors have no investment contract that offers anybody any rights. Reicher notes a favorable conclusion would be beneficial to the entire crypto industry because it is necessary to offer clarity and confidence for the entire industry. It is essential for the whole of the industry to have a thorough understanding of any duties and regulatory expectations set out by the SEC, the U.S. Commodity Futures Trading Commission, CFTC, and any other financial compliance agencies. Andrew Pickett, lead trial attorney at Andrew Pickett Law. According to the attorney based in Florida, the result of the lawsuit between Ripple and the SEC is being eagerly awaited across the sector, with Pickett highlighting that if Ripple is successful in their lawsuit, it could help solidify XRP's legality in the U.S. market, which would benefit its price. Elsewhere, he views the outcome as a fundamental setting and important precedent applicable to other cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin, especially by leading financial institutions. This could open up the cryptocurrency industry to more mainstream investors and businesses that would have previously been cautious about entering the market due to legal uncertainty. The final ruling, notably if the regulator is successful in this case, it might have very negative repercussions for XRP, its investors, and the cryptocurrency sector as a whole. In particular, the regulatory body has the authority to levy a fine on Ripple Labs and demand that the business register XRP as a security. As a consequence, a judgment of this kind would certainly result in XRP being treated in the same manner as conventional securities, which may restrict both its adoption and usage. On the other hand, if Ripple is able to defend itself against the arguments presented by the SEC effectively, it may be considered a significant triumph for the firm as well as a favorable sentiment for XRP. Despite the fact that Ripple has some success during the hearings, the final result of the lawsuit is still unknown, which is very important to keep in mind. By press time, XRP was trading at 34 cents, recording daily losses of about 2.7%, with the asset having a total market worth of $17.1 billion. So very, very good information there. And a couple legal experts, attorneys, and their thoughts. And, the first one sounded pretty damn good to me and pretty spot on, if you ask me. So that's one thing. And then I also want to get over real quick, we want to talk about is we want to talk about this Tether debacle. So Tether USDT under scrutiny. Oh, and then even though Michigan lost, I got my shirt in today. It's the back-to-back Big Ten, or a couple days ago actually. Back-to-back Big Ten champions, 2021-2022. So still happy about that. Just pissed because it's been 25 years since we made a title. But anyhow, back to this. Tether USDT under scrutiny. Possible crisis for stablecoin. And this is a pretty big thing because Coinbase is telling their users not to hold their money in USDT anymore. So something big is coming, folks. Something's big. Consider if you're a Bitfinex user that they were fined for hiding or misleading their investors that $850 million or $810 million was missing, and they used Tether to cover it up. So just consider that if you're on that exchange. This was back from 2018 and ongoing, and this was reported in December 1st, 2022, was when this became common knowledge. So we'll get to the Tether article right after we cover some XRP TA, as XRP has now cracked 34 cents, which I figured it might while I did this update, so it was a good time to do it. I really like to do it when things are moving, and I hope this update is a nice jam-packed one for you because, there's a lot of information I've been going over, and I just appreciate bringing it to everybody because I love doing this, and there's nothing I like to do more, honestly. This is where I see myself for a very long time, and it's nice to say now that we're in 2023 that we've been doing this. I think it's the leading charts, leading news, because I don't give the fodder bullshit. You can come here and get what you need. You can trust it. And I've been doing this since March of 2021. So we're getting closer to 2 years. So we're putting some space in here now. And it's been a hell of a ride so far. And as you can see, we're on this gigantic bear flag. And if you look at this is the pattern formation right now. So some people are like, well, Tom, how the hell could XRP get back up to 48 cents, you cocksucking son of a bitch? I'm just saying, if it ever came back up, and it would have so many ridiculous spots to push through. But I'm saying in a daily time frame, technically in the pattern we're in, you can't rule it out if we can't break the uptrending support. Shoot. That's why it's in our best interest. Hold on. It is in our best interest to break this uptrending support. That's not exactly where I had it. See, and this is hard for me because I can't see out of my left eye because I have keratoconus. So if you look into my left eye, you may or may not be able to see the big white spot in my left eye. See? You may or may not be able to see, but I have a big white spot in the middle of my eye. It's called keratoconus. See, I see you partially. So when I close my right eye, I just see blur. So yeah, it is what it is. So this uptrend, this is the ascending triangle. And really, we would like to see it break this confluently and get out of this pattern formation. And we would have to break the 335 to even have a chance to get below this. This is that critical 335 level, and that's why it's such a big level. 333, you could say, but 335, and then you can get down there, and then you can start pushing the 2871. Now, if you want to look outside of the daily pattern, and you want to start looking at, a smaller pattern, and we can start to look into other parts, other areas to simplify it, this is how you do it. So instead of going all the way to 48 cents, you start to look at it in a smaller fashion. So the 355 is where we're coming up to right now. So the 355, you would have to break through. We can simplify it on this chart. We'll get rid of this. We're just going to simplify it here just a little bit. And I mean, you've literally got the 355 level in here. And that's what you're looking at. That's the bear flag. So we're looking at that area of support. And this old uptrending line is one that I'm using. I'm not even using the new pattern formation. This is just, it formed around it. So, and again, you got to break this uptrending support. You got the 335 underneath. And then you've got the 324, I like to say. I know it says 326, but 324 seems to be another level that we'll try to hold it at the bottom side of this. So I'm more comfortable saying let's break the 324 after the 335. So that's what I'm looking at for the support. And I think it's very important for you to also understand this update after update after update for me to repeat these numbers. And yes, it's been a lot of information, but if you pay attention, you can see. Now we get to this chart. And yes, we can have the same bear flag across here as we have before. So it can absolutely come across, and you can see this, but for me, I have other charts that show that, and I also have other charts that show the uptrending support. But what I don't have is past patterns on some of the charts that come from this line right here that pulls through on the immediate bear flag. That started on the huge drop. So on the huge drop, we have a pattern resistance right now that if we can't get around and get past, it ends up killing this pattern. And right now for XRP, you really, 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 really have to be above 348. And that's why I keep saying it so importantly. You have to be above 348. Otherwise, the 355 will fall. Also, the 324 will fall. And ultimately, the 287 or 286 and going down sub 20 cents will end up having to happen because the technical target first will stop off at about 22.8. But the technical target's around just shy of 19 cents right now on this gigantic bear flag. And it's actually lower, but a real technical target would be around sub 19 cents, 18.8. You know, you're really getting down there, and it really becomes a cause for concern. So please pay attention. And before I end this and go back to that Tether article, I want to show you the whole shit and caboodle. Why is this so urgent? Because eventually, folks, eventually, we've got a bunch of different charts. We'll go to the best one. Eventually, we play into here, okay? And the problem is, if we play and lose this, which you can already see, this major line up here at 326 approximately, if you lose that, it's very, very, and I keep saying the 328, the 324, but the 324, if you can't hold the 324, and then you come down to the 287, you break this formation, and that's the uptrend you're on right now. And this uptrend started back in March of 2020 approximately. Now, if we have to go to the all-time pattern, it's where we have problems. This all-time pattern, we can go all the way back to 2014, hit it again down here in 15, had a parabolic spike in 17. The problem with this 18, 19, 17, 18, 19, this is all quantitative easing. Quantitative tightening starts, and what happens? We come from all the way up here, boom, come around, boom, and now quantitative easing again. We're in. 2008, we collapse. We did all of this. We come around to 2020, get some more easing, and that allowed the one last bull run, and now we're tightening, and look where we're at. If you break this, my fear is that we will go to the all-time pattern from 2014, and where does this put us? I've prophesized that if we want to do this correctly and it plays to a lawsuit, you get to the March, April of this year time frame, and if you peg it on here, it can get you to the 1-2 level approximately. I'm not saying it's going to hit 1-2 because if you come a little bit farther out, and this is supposed to be out here, I don't know what, because I'm on the monthly, it always moves the things around. Come back here to a smaller time. Yeah, definitely move this around. Because this is supposed to be down here. And when this comes across, and it really moved that around. Holy smokes. We're just going to have to redo that. Because there is a scenario where it doesn't have to go as catastrophic. But that's the one I want you to see is right here. That's the 1-2 level. And that's in April of this year, May. You can even go to the end of the year. It just depends where it hits. But this pattern, the point of this is this can last a very long time, technically. And it's not going to go out and do infinity, but it will have a crescendo point somewhere around here. And that's why I've long said this could possibly take until 2026 if you just look at it from there. If you look at it from the all-time pattern, this could take until 2026, because if you look, and a lot of people are going to be pissed when I show this, but I always show this, so I don't really give a shit. So, first support is down here in 2017, roughly, we'll say. Right? Resistance in January of 2018 comes all the way back down into these areas. And it doesn't have to hit it again for a very, very long time. Whoops. Let me bring it into a smaller time frame. And it depends. It just depends how you play this. Oh, wow. I just kept that up here. Let me, So what are we going to do? How are we going to play this out? Is it going to play the long played out pattern? Because you can see how we came through. And you can actually say the support started all the way here. But I chose here because this is where it pounced up. So now you've got it working. Support, resistance. Back down around here, resistance. Now we're going to come back down here to support. Because we've already hit it several times back here. We just haven't come back down. And that only can happen if you break this uptrending support that was started on the parabolic uptrend. And that was back in 2020. It confirmed this. Because then you got support, resistance, support, support. You know, there's other areas. But if you break this, then we can come back down to the true pattern. And that could, in time, depending on where it hits, you know, you're talking some serious lows here, depending on how long it takes. So that's how I come up with the 1-7. That's the grand scheme pattern. And everybody gets pissed when I show it, but that's the all-time pattern for XRP. And if it loses the uptrend that was started in 2020, it's going to have no choice but to work its way in this section. And that's breaking. And we've talked about this level for a very long time. The 335 is so critical. It's not the albeit level, but it is, or the 324 level. It's not the albeit level. But what the 324 level is, it's a breakdown of the March 2020 pattern approximately. But that's still off-centered. I believe it's a little lower than that. That's why it doesn't make any freaking sense. It seems like it's too high up. The 318, or the 316, yeah, the 316 is that level. Forget that. The 316, it was up too high. You've seen it was higher than the wicks. It got moved around. But the 316, you break that, then you have the opportunity to come to the 2022 lows back in June, and then you break that, and the bearish continuation pattern is going to play through. It's a bear flag, a gigantic one at that. So that's that with XRP. And then the last thing I want to talk about is the Coinbase attacks Tether, encourages users to switch to USD coin. US-based exchange Coinbase recently posted an appeal to its customers on its website where it expressly asked them to convert their Tether USDT stablecoins to USD coin, which is a stablecoin issued by Circle and co-founded by Coinbase in 2018. Interesting. Now more than ever, stability and confidence are of the utmost importance to clients. Stablecoins backed by fiat cryptocurrency pegged to reserve assets such as the US dollar offer clients stability and confidence during periods of volatility. However, events in recent weeks have tested some stablecoins, and we have seen a flight to safety. We believe USD coin USDC is a reliable and reputable stablecoin, so we are making the transition easier. Starting today, we are waiving fees for global retail clients to convert USDT to USDC. According to Coinbase, it all starts with the collapse of FTX, which made Tether less reliable and less transparent. In contrast, USDC is a much safer and more reliable alternative. And USDC, for anybody who doesn't know, United States digital currency, it's backed by U.S. government bonds, the U.S. dollar, and it's just backed by actual value. Even if you don't put much stake in fiat money, it's at least backed. As long as the U.S. dollar has value, it's backed by the equivalent to the paper money. Tether is backed by DIC. It's backed by itself. Tether claims to have reserves, but I highly doubt they have any reserves. So that's the difference. USD coin is not only a stable coin, but also an ERC20 token, which means it is a cryptocurrency built as a smart contract on the Ethereum network. For those who do not know, a smart contract is a software program that runs on the blockchain and functions as a real contract. This effectively performs certain actions upon the occurrence of certain encoded conditions. The maximum supply of USD coin is indeterminate. So hopefully this update helped. If you got any value out of this, consider joining Tom's Army. Hit that motherfucking like button and share this to a friend who might not have seen the truth so they can stay away from the FUD.